You know, lately I've had a lot of people asking me if I still think that the PX4 Storm is a great gun. Now, in the past, I have said that I think this is the best polymer carry gun on the market, and it's definitely my favorite polymer carry gun on the market. But I haven't put on a lot of lists I've done lately of like best combat guns, etc. And that's made a lot of people think that maybe I've changed my mind about this gun, but I have not. I still think that this is one of the best, if not the best, polymer carry gun on the market today. I just don't put it on my list of things like best combat guns or best duty guns for a couple of reasons, and I'll cover those here in a couple of minutes. Now, before we go into why I do not put this gun on a lot of lists of best combat or duty guns, let's talk about what makes this gun such an amazing gun. The first thing is this rotating barrel right here. This rotating barrel is amazing. It makes this a very soft shooting gun. It allows the bore to sit a little bit lower. It's just a really good design. I really love this rotating barrel. The grip on the gun is extremely comfortable. It's a very natural and ergonomic grip on it. Makes the gun very comfortable to hold and very easy to shoot, especially for prolonged periods of time. It's just really comfortable in the hand. Now, it is a double action, single action hammer fired gun, which I prefer. I prefer hammer fired guns. Now, a lot of people will complain about the trigger, but I don't understand why, because it's got a very smooth, consistent, steady double action trigger that breaks nice and crisply. So I don't know why people complain about that trigger pull. And the single action pull is nice and light. There's just a little bit of take up right there, which is necessary to move the firing pin block. You can see the firing pin block go up there during the take up, and then it breaks like glass. It's just a really nice single action break. So I don't know why anybody would ever complain about the trigger on this gun. It is awesome. It's got dovetail front and rear sights here. I've replaced these with night sights, so you can replace them with whichever sights you like. So it's nice and versatile in that way. It has a rail, so if you're one of those people that likes to put accessories on your gun, you can do that with this gun because it does have a rail. But the best thing I like about this gun is it is easily converted to a Type G, meaning you can easily convert it to a decocker only. If you cock the hammer back and put down the safety, it doesn't stay on. It pops back up as soon as it decocks the hammer. That makes it where you can easily carry the gun in double action, ready to go, and every subsequent shot will be single action with that light, crisp trigger pull. Now, if you want to see a video on how to do that conversion, I do have a video on that conversion. I'll put a link up in the corner here. Mr. Guns and Gear also has a very good one. I think his might even be a little better than mine, so I'll put a link to his up there also. So if you want to see how to do that Type G conversion on a Beretta PX4 Storm, I'll put the links up there. Just click on that little eye up in the right-hand corner of the screen. Now let's get to two of the reasons why I don't put this gun on those lists of what I think are the best combat or duty guns. And the two reasons I don't put it on the list are two of the things that make it such a good gun. One is the safety. If you notice here, these come to a very sharp point and they stick out really far. These are brutal. When I carry these, they poke me in the side. I've had them cut my side before I've actually bled through a t-shirt because of these safeties. They actually tore through a t-shirt, cut my side. And I've hurt my fingers so many times racking the slide, took chunks out of my fingers with these sharp safeties. I don't know who designed these things, but they should be put in a room, tied to a chair, and forced to watch Whoopi Goldberg bring herself to completion again and again. These things are an abomination. Now, the second reason is that rotating barrel. That rotating barrel and the guide rod in this gun, that's the reason it's not on the list, because it's a little more complicated than most guns in this class. The recoil system isn't a little simple rod and spring. It's got a little cap that has to go in the end. It's multiple pieces. It's just a little bit more complicated than it has to be. And if you lost that little piece out in the desert or the woods or wherever, you'd be screwed. So that's not suitable for combat. And the rotating barrel system itself is a little more complicated than a regular tilting barrel. The little cam at the bottom that makes the barrel rotate is a little more complicated. I think if people had to take it apart, they wouldn't be as naturally familiar with the way it worked as they would with a traditional tilt-up barrel. So that little bit of extra intricacy with the gun, I think that makes it a little less suited for combat. It should be a little more simple if it was going to be a combat gun. But even though it's a little bit more complicated, it's still perfect for a carry gun because these are things we can all learn and take care of and don't have to worry about dropping a little piece out in the sand somewhere. So I still think it's the best carry gun. It's just not best for combat or duty when it comes to polymer guns. But you know, while I'm making this video, I'm going to go ahead and solve one of the problems because I got a different safety here for the gun. So I'm going to take care of that safety issue right away. Now, this is not the low profile safety. I put the low profile safety on this gun once before. Didn't like them. They sat too flush with the frame. They were hard to actuate. So I didn't really like those. I took them off and put these ones back on. But this is a 92 style safety. It makes it like a safety on a Beretta 92. So really quickly, I'm going to take this ugly, abusive, painful little safety off this gun and replace it with the ones that are more like the Beretta 92 and see how much better it is. Now, I'm not going to show you a lot of details here on taking the safety out and replacing it, because it's the exact same thing you would do if you were doing the Type G conversion. So if you want to see that, just watch the videos on doing the Type G conversion. Now, before I go further with this video, I wanted to show you what I was talking about the recoil system in here and that little cam for the barrel. This little cam has a groove in it that rotates around the cam, and it's got a little peg on the barrel that rides in it that makes it spin. The recoil assembly here goes into it. There's like a little pin and cap at the back here. There's a collar up here that makes it work. Just too many pieces and a little bit too complicated to be a good duty gun. So that's why it doesn't make the lists. And another little tip here, when you have your extractor out anytime for anything, always clean under it here. Just take that opportunity, especially if you've been firing it a lot like I have this gun, because it gets really nasty in there. Okay, I've got them on there, and it is a big improvement. I did do the Type G conversion on it there, so it is still just a decocker only, but it's so much more comfortable. Before, when you would run your thumb across it from the top like this, it would hurt like the dickens. And if you grabbed them either purposely or accidentally while racking the slide, they hurt. These ones don't hurt at all. They don't really stick out any further, but they don't have that really sharp point right there, and they have a much bigger surface for your finger to hit. So you have a bigger surface to spread the pressure over while you're actually using them, but it doesn't stick out any further. Like I said, I don't know who designed these, but they should be punished. Now, I will have to say in closing that even though this makes it a little bit better of a carry gun, you've taken what I would consider to be the best polymer carry gun on the market and made it a little bit better. It's still not suited as a good duty or combat pistol because of those mechanical things inside here. But like I say, that doesn't affect you for everyday carry. It just affects a bunch of people that have to be able to do stuff in the field, but it doesn't affect me or you. So I guess at the end of the video here, the answer to the question of do I still think the PX4 Beretta Storm is the best polymer carry gun you can buy? Yes, I do. If you do that Type G conversion, it's the best polymer carry gun that you can possibly buy. And then if you switch out those decockers there, it's even better.